The Social Security Commission, SSC, was established by an Act of Parliament to provide a social protection floor to the Namibian workforce and their dependents. The SSC provides its registered members with defined benefits in the event of maternity, sickness, death, retirement and disability. It also provides coverage against work-related injuries and/or accidents.
Morning, Gloria.
Morning, Mr. Chimkwa.
The Social Security Commission was established by an Act of Parliament, Act number 34 of 1994. Its mandate is to provide a social protection to the Namibian workforce, their dependents, and other beneficiaries. In line with the Social Security Commission Act, SSC is required to establish and administer the following funds. Number 1, Maternity Leave, Sick Leave and Death Benefit Fund, also referred to as the MSD. This fund is to provide benefits to eligible registered members. This fund is currently operational. The second fund is the Development Fund, which is to provide funding for education, training and employment schemes of unemployed, previously disadvantaged Namibians. The fund is also operational. The third fund that we were mandated to establish is the National Pension Fund, which is to provide retirement benefits to Namibian employees. This fund is not yet operational. The fourth fund is the National Medical Benefit Fund, which is to provide medical cover to Namibian employees. This fund is not yet operational, which means the Social Security currently have 2 operational funds, 2 still to be established. The funds that have still to be established are being researched on, and the research for both of these funds is at an advanced stage. In addition, SSC also administers the Employees Compensation Act, Act number 30 of 1941, which establishes the following: Accident Fund, Reserve Fund, and the Accident Pension Fund. These funds provide insurance cover for work-related injuries and other accidents. With regard to the governance of the Social Security Commission, the Social Security Commission has a tripartite board of commissioners which consists of 3 representatives from government, 3 representatives from employers, 3 representatives from the employees. The Act provides at least one of the representatives of each social partner to be a female person. The board chairperson is independent and is appointed by the Minister of Labour and Social Welfare. Social Security have 5 key strategic objectives. Number 1, to grow revenue. Number 2, to ensure legal compliance. Number 3, to effectively manage risks. Number 4, to provide customer-centric services. And number 5, to continuously realign and train staff.
Operating from over 10 offices across the country, the professional team of over 260 employees is guided by its vision of wanting to become a world-class provider of social security benefits to the Namibian workforce and other beneficiaries by 2020. The SSC's daily operations are guided by the core values of integrity, efficiency, accountability, customer-centric, as well as mutual trust and respect. The SSC has an active registered membership of over 400,000 active employees and more than 40,000 employers. The SSC benefits are meant for employees from all walks of life and include persons working as domestic workers, small and medium enterprises, SMEs, construction workers, as well as those operating in the informal sector.
The Commission pay also sick leave benefits to its members. The minimum sick leave payment is 195%, which is 75% of a salary of 300, which is a floor. And the maximum sick leave payable per month is an amount of 6,750, which represents again 75% of the person's salary for the first 12 months. After 12 months, the sick leave ratio is reduced to 65%, which means that we will pay 65% of the person's salary, and the new maximum for a period of 12 months up to 2 years is then 5,850. For death, retirement and disability, we pay a lump sum of 5,000 Namibian dollar per claim. On the EC fund, we have several benefits that we pay. These are medical expenses in respect of injury on duty, temporary total disablement, which means for the dates that the person is unable to work due to injury-related accident, we pay 75% of the salary. We also pay permanent disability to the injured employees, which can take a form of a lump sum or a pension if the disability is more than 30%. We also have pensions that we pay to the survivors as well as to the dependents of an injured person who was fatally injured at work. We also pay burial expenses to carry the cost of burial of a member who died on duty, as well as transport expenses to take the injured person to the nearest facility. These are paid in terms of the Employees Compensation Act, Act 30 of 1941.
The SSC financial framework is vital to the support system of its vision and mission, as it deals with a sizable amount of public money. Prudent management of these funds guarantees efficient and trustworthy services to SSC clients at all times.
When you talk about financial policies, the Social Security, we have a number of policies, and we have just reviewed them, and the most important of them all is the debt collection policy. There is a lot of money belonging to the Commission that is outstanding, and the last 3 months or so we had a policy approved by the board that would ensure that the data situation of the Social Security is brought to standard. At the moment, I would say the financial situation is quite very strong. We have just received our actuarial report for the year ended February 2011, and we have, I would say, it's a clean bill of health. There are no reasons for concern.
The Development Fund of the SSC is one vehicle through which it renders financial and material support to students and projects aimed at creating employment. The fund provides bursaries and study loans to students studying at tertiary and vocational training centers in Namibia and the SADC region.
The Development Fund of the Social Security Commission has two objectives. Firstly, to provide financial assistance to needy but academically deserving students to pursue qualifications at academic or technical institutions of higher learning in the SADC region. Secondly, to provide financial assistance towards the training of unemployed Namibians such that they become employable and may join the labor market, as well as to provide funding for the establishment of employment creation projects for the benefit of the destitute Namibians.
The SSC unleashes the potential of the future working generation by enabling those from disadvantaged backgrounds to realize their dreams through the awarding of bursaries in various fields of study. To date, the SSC Development Fund has spent over 6 million Namibia dollars on bursaries and study loans and has a total of more than 130 students on its bursary scheme.
My name is Eleni Kapunda. A third-year student at the Polytechnic of Namibia towards a Bachelor of Technology degree in Power Engineering. Okay, the changes that the bursary brought to my life is that it helped me a lot. Actually, I didn't have any financial support, and my mom struggled a lot to pay for my tuition fees. Actually, she didn't even have anything to pay for my tuition fees. So with the Social Security, I got helped, and I was helped a lot. So I thank God for that, and thanks to the Social Security once again for their help, because without them I could have not came up to this level.
My name is Benjamin Yulepo. I'm a power engineering student at the Polytechnic of Namibia. I just completed my 4th year diploma phase at the power engineering, and I got this Social Security bursary in 2009. This bursary helped me a lot, like in case of books and tuition fee and also accommodation, because I was really struggling. Like 2008 when I came here in Windhoek, I was struggling with accommodation, and then I managed to apply, and then I was one of the lucky students that I got a bursary. And my message to the fellow students that are intending to apply for the bursary of the Social Security, or those who are having the bursary for Social Security, I will encourage them to really study, because to keep this bursary, it requires you to study. The fund will take this bursary from you if you are not progressing well in your studies, and that's why we managed to keep our bursary until the end, because we were working very hard until we achieve our goals.
The Social Security Commission continues to change the lives of its members by providing services in line with its core values, especially that of being customer-centric.
Every working Namibian person is a stakeholder of the Social Security Commission, and therefore it is important for the Commission as a responsible corporate citizen to have corporate social investment policies in place that is sustainable both environmentally and economically, and therefore to empower the communities within which we are operating. It is therefore also prudent for the SSC to have such policies in place, and the funding of the CSI policy of the SSC are inter alia in the following areas: educational development, natural disasters, child welfare, orphans and vulnerable children, old age and disability, health and safety, HIV/AIDS, occupational health and safety, road safety, sex education, rehabilitation projects, sports development, youth development, as well as capacity building for small and medium entrepreneurs.
The SSC is literally going the extra mile with the introduction of SSC on Wheels, a mobile service that brings its services such as registration of employees and employers, printing of social security cards, account payments, as well as printing of employer certificates to the doorsteps of its members.
Morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Yes. We Social Security, we're here to assist you.
Yeah.
As part of its innovation to provide services and bring services closer to our members, the SSC has recently acquired a mobile van that will serve as a mobile office called SSC on Wheels. Now, SSC on Wheels will primarily be used to provide services to our clients in places where we do not have physical offices or office infrastructure in place. I must state that SSC on Wheels forms part of the deliberate efforts of the SSC to extend coverage, especially to the informal sector. This means that SSC on Wheels will be a tool that will be used to ensure that we increase our registration numbers of operators in the informal sector.
As its mandate is derived from the Act of Parliament, the SSC's legal team ensures that the Commission functions within the framework of the law. The SSC's legal division ensures that its policies are consistent with the relevant laws and to mitigate business risks.
The function of the Legal Compliance Division within the Social Security Commission is basically to provide legal advice to the Board of Commissioners, to the Executive Officer, and then the management staff of the Commission. And in terms of compliance, it's basically to ensure that the Commission complies with its regulatory framework, and that is the Social Security Act, the Employees Compensation Act, the State-Owned Enterprises Act. Now, with respect to employers, basically it's to make sure that employers are registered with the Commission, and that the employees are also registered with the Commission, and that the contributions that are supposed to be paid over to the Commission are actually paid over.
So what happens to those employers who choose not to comply with the provisions of the Social Security Act?
In the event that an employer does not register, they can actually be taken to court, and civil proceedings can be instituted against the employer, and at the same time, criminal proceedings can also be instituted against the employer. So from the Commission side, we're really urging employers, both big and small, to register with the Commission. There are benefits to registering with the Commission. So it's very important that the employers do comply with the provisions of the Social Security Act.
The SSC has a bright future and intends to consolidate its role as one of the key catalysts of the Namibian economy, as its Executive Officer outlines.
Going forward, the Social Security Commission will continue to implement a comprehensive and dynamic social security system. Hence, we will periodically review our benefits based on sound actuarial advice. We'll finalize and implement the outstanding funds, that is the National Pension Fund and the National Medical Benefit Fund. We will intensify stakeholder engagement and public education initiatives. We'll introduce programs for the prevention of occupational diseases and accidents. We'll form strategic alliances and partnerships with key stakeholders such as employers, trade unions, traditional and local authorities, and regional councils. Lastly but important, we will recruit, train and retain staff and become employer of choice.